Hi, everyone. Happy Holy Saturday. It's a quiet day in many ways as we have been moving through Holy Week and we've been bringing you daily since last week, since Palm Sunday. This time of just reflecting about the different things that Jesus, our master teacher, moved through during Holy Weeks and during Holy Week and what they can mean for us and some of the lessons and teachings that we can find in it. And so today, really, there's not much that's going on. So yesterday, on Good Friday, we talked about Jesus' crucifixion. If you didn't get a chance to catch that video, I really focused on the seven last words or the seven last phrases of Jesus and invited you to contemplate them during this weekend as we approach Easter tomorrow. And so there really isn't much in the Gospels about what took place today because on Good Friday, after Jesus' crucifixion, he was brought into the tomb and he was laid in the tomb. Now, as we know and as we honor and celebrate, there was the resurrection experience on Sunday. And this is a time that we get to celebrate tomorrow, the resurrection of us into new life, just like Jesus resurrecting into a new way of being, a new life, a greater expression of his own Christhood. We can do the same. Now, as we are sort of in between this time, though, there really isn't, like I said, much that the Gospels say about today, um, other than Jesus was in the tomb. And it's really an invitation for so many of us, hey, Pam, to really sit with our own time of reflection, our own time of the void. What came up for me as I was pondering and thinking about Holy Saturday is that Jesus, through his crucifixion, just like we do, we are sort of saying goodbye to an old way of being, an old life, an old way of understanding ourselves. And in Easter, we get to sort of honor the new life, the new understanding, the new way that we are embodying our own Christhood. But in between that time, there is this space. And we know there's a really wonderful book by Robert Brummett, Finding Yourself in Transition, that speaks to this idea that after every ending, before there is a new beginning, there's some void. There's a time of being in the void. And for many people, it can be a time of great confusion. But it can also be a time of rest. It doesn't have to be confusing. It doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. And if it feels uncomfortable, we don't have to feel guilt or shame over it. We can allow ourselves to just be with the experience. Because I imagine that the people around Jesus were confused. What do we do now? Would they trust and have faith in what Jesus said, that he would resurrect and bring back the temple, that he himself would be lifted up. And so they probably were in fear or they were in confusion. That doesn't have to be the way that we understand this time, that we go through the experience of the void. One of the things that I was thinking about is in the Unity 5-step prayer process, which is an invitation to affirmative prayer or time of contemplation. One of the steps is the moment of realization. And it is that time when something within us, we can feel that there is a shift, that we believe what we believe, that we trust what we have faith in. And Jesus had faith. He trusted. And so he knew that saying goodbye to the old way of being through the crucifixion It was just a part of the process. It wasn't the end of the process. It wasn't end of life. It was part of life. And he could hold the vision, hold the faith, and hold the trust that something new would be emerging. And so I ask myself, in times of being in the void, in the in between of the end of something and the beginning of something new, can I hold on to the trust and the faith and the vision of what is rising up, what that new beginning will be, look like, feel like, how it will support me, lift me up, bring me into a greater awareness of my truth and my connection with God and the divine, my own embodiment of the Christ. And the more that I can hold the vision, the more comfortable I can be in the void, in the silence, because it'll be really a time of simple rest, because we can trust that what will take place is going to be taking place. What will be resurrected within us will be resurrected within us. That the new beginning will be a new birth, and a great birth into something even better and more connected and more aware of our connection. And so we can really just breathe, be in the void, trust, and rest, remembering what's on the other side of the challenge, of the trial and tribulations, of what's uncomfortable. What is on the other side of it? Well, let's continue to hold the vision that what's on the other side of anything that we move through is grace, is a blessing, is a miracle, in the making. So I wanted to share with you one of my favorite quotes from a Christian mystic, Teilhard de Chardin. And this mystic, who lived quite a bit ago, shares this. And I've always really felt very connected to this quote of his. He says, I begin to think that most of our weaknesses are due to the fact that our belief is too narrow and that we don't believe through to the end. To stop believing a second too soon or not to believe enough is sufficient to ruin the whole structure of what we are building. And so maybe, actually, I want to read that part again. To stop believing a second too soon or to not to believe enough is sufficient to ruin the whole structure of what we are building. And so maybe our time in the tomb, our time in the void may feel like it's taking too long. Maybe we are feeling that the old skin that we have shed has left us too vulnerable and the new skin isn't manifesting quick enough. Or maybe we are a little nervous because we've done the affirmations, we've done the practices, we've done the things that we have known to do to manifest and create a new way of being, a partner, a loving, intimate relationship, a job that really fulfills us, a healthy body and a healthy body experience, whatever it may be. And we may be questioning whether it'll ever be manifested. We are invited to trust and keep the faith that as we have asked, it shall be done. That as we have affirmed, it shall be lived. And that the more that we embody and trust and have faith in our own Christhood and in our connection with the divine, that we shall be lifted up, that we will rise up in faith to do what is ours to do, to experience what is ours to experience, to truly create and manifest heaven on earth. And so the time in the void may feel uncomfortable. The time in the void may feel like it's taking a little longer than it should, but trust that there is a resurrection taking place. Trust the new birth that is rising up in you and through you and as you and in your life. And trust that what is on the other side of this time of the void and of the ending that you have just moved through is something great, magnificent, and something that, just like Jesus' resurrection, we know it as a miracle, that we shall make miracles in our own lives. And so I invite you to just be with that tonight as we prepare ourselves to fully be reborn into a deepened awareness of who and what we are as expressions, children, and individualized points of God. So thank you for joining us. And yes, Pam, I really appreciate you connecting with us and all those that have been watching. It's been a really wonderful learning for me this week also. And I really look forward to sort of bringing all this together tomorrow for our special Easter services. So I want to invite you and make sure that you know how important it is that you join us, how it matters that you join us tomorrow for our Easter services, a call to shine. Those are the services we'll have at 9:30 and 11:15 Eastern Standard Time in Miami. You can, we'd love to see you in person, but you can also watch them virtually. And a reminder, we do also have our Easter beach meditation at 7 a.m. You can go to our website for more information. And for the beach meditation, you do have to register ahead of time to get the address. So make sure that you visit our website. And thank you again for joining us. And I look forward to witnessing our rebirth as we celebrate and honor it tomorrow, Easter Sunday.